So somebody finally said the quiet thing out loud, that people are stealing black culture and now everybody is mad at her.
K-pop wouldn't exist without black history and black culture.
The K in K-pop stands for Made in Korea. It doesn't stand for Korean music.
Hi guys, welcome back again to another video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to watch my videos. If this is your first time here, my name is Julie. You are welcome to Julie Harrison React. Don't make your last by subscribing. This Korean American lady is being dragged on TikTok for being truthful. She made it clear to the public that K-pop originates from black culture. She also made it clear that it's been stolen by Koreans and they are still not giving credit to the originators. I'm gonna let you guys listen to everything she said, and of course it has caused a lot of reactions. People are talking about it and I can't wait to share. Please do watch these videos and let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Don't forget to thumbs up.
So somebody finally said the quiet thing out loud, that people are stealing black culture and now everybody is mad at her. So a Korean American woman is letting it be known that K-pop is made from black culture. And that shit is ruffling a lot of people's feathers. Matter of fact, look at this shit.
Some of you may know, some of you may not know. I'm Korean American. I was born here in the States. But let's talk about this. Is not a complicated conversation, okay? K-pop is not some isolated cultural phenomenon. It's black music and black culture. A lot of you guys have been DMing me. What do you think about K-pop? So I'm addressing it right now. It is black R&B, hip-hop, pop, systemized through a Korean entertainment industry machine. Not an opinion, it's facts, okay? It's history. Let me take you to the very first K-pop group ever in 1992 called Seo and Boys, Seo Idol. If you listen to their songs, you can probably name the songs they copied. I'm gonna play for you one of their songs called Come Back Home, okay? You tell me what song it is.
Trying to get crazy with this shit. Don't you know I'm loco?
Now, I know Cypress Hill is more of a Latino, right, American hip hop group, but what I'm trying to explain to you is that that's what they did from the very beginning. So from the very beginning, from the very first K-pop group ever, okay, it was ambiguous, it was borrowed, it was stolen. And the framework still remains today. We have the 808s, we have the syncopation, we have the hi-hats, we have the melismas, we have the call and response, we have all of the things that black music, it's black music. And I'd also like to add that most of the K-pop hits now are being written by black writers and produced by black producers. It's not just the sound, right? Because it's the culture, it's the mannerisms, it's the hair, it's the fashion, it's the choreography, it's the slang, it's all of the things that it's taken from black culture. It did not come from Korean traditional culture. This is where I get uncomfortable talking about this, but here I am, okay? Black artists were historically marginalized. They were penalized. They were excluded because of these very things. And yet, when it comes from K-pop, it's globally accepted and it's even rewarded. What is that? That's not influence. That's racism. And as a Korean American woman working in the music industry, I want to tell Korea, like, do better. Grow up in this conversation, right? If you want to steal, if you want to take, if you're claiming that it's borrowed inspiration, then at least respect the source, at least credit it visibly. And also, let's evolve beyond imitation. Let's evolve, because it's giving cultural appropriation, not respect.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but let's stop pretending. K-pop didn't just get inspired by black culture. K-pop is black culture. Stolen, repackaged, sanitized, and sold back to the world without the people who created it. And every time somebody says it, the internet gets upset. Like y'all can't see the choreography, the R&B melodies, the rap canvases, the streetwear, the hair, the slang. Where did that come from? Everything came straight out of black American culture. Like everything does. Mind you, none of this shit popped out of thin air. The entire foundation of K-pop was built copying black artists. Not inspired, copy. The New Jack Swing, the early 2000s R&B, hip-hop dance crews. Korea studied black culture like a textbook. And then what do? They turned it into a billion-dollar industry, like they ought to. But the crazy part, that we already know, they took the culture, but not the people. They respect the culture, but not the people. Go down the rabbit hole. You'll see groups dancing like black artists. dancing like black choreographers, wearing styles born by black community. But where are the black idols they stole it from? All right. They're not allowed to exist in that system they stole it from. And don't get it twisted, I'm not saying that K-pop isn't talented. I'm saying that the industry pretends the blueprint didn't come from us. Us. They act like the sound is original, like they invented that shit. But every single generation of K-pop owes its identity to black American culture. You could borrow the style, but you can't erase the source. And you can't erase the source. For real.
It's important to understand how K-pop came to be, so let's take a step back and go into K-pop's roots. Say hello to Sotaejian boys. Sotaejian boys debuted in 1992 with members Sotaeji, Young Hyun-suk, aka the infamous YG of YG Entertainment, and Lee Jun-ho. They debuted with I Know, which was produced and written by Sotaeji. It's sung in Korean but is quintessential New Jack Swing, a Western genre pioneered by black producer Teddy Riley in the 1980s. Riley, alongside Keith Sweat, produced Sweat's debut single, I Want Her, which is a progenitor of the genre. Take a listen. Sounds familiar. At the time of filming this video, Teddy Riley isn't even 60. He's 57. RuPaul is older than him. This all didn't happen too long ago. Teddy Riley would actually go on to directly produce for K-pop groups like Girls' Generation and EXO. Sidebar, in typical K-pop fashion, Sotaejian boys have had questionable moments, like Sotaeji marrying someone he met at 21 when she was 15, and member Lee Jun-ho doing this. Despite those incidents, Sotaejian boys opened up K-pop's gates to Western influence, for better or for worse. Korean music was sonically different prior to their debut and was dominated by genres like trot. Sotaeji's extraction of black culture would go on and change the course of history.
I think one of the dumbest arguments made by K-pop stans is when they're like, K-pop just started sounding so Western recently. No, it didn't. It always sounded Western. Or I hate when y'all like to ignore the contributions of like the West, especially black American people in K-pop, y'all. And it's very clear to me that you have not done the required reading to have this conversation because y'all have not listened to first gen K-pop. Because if you heard first gen K-pop and compare it to the music in America that's being played at that time, copy and paste, baby. Copy and paste. There's this famous song in Korea that goes, Naya Padaya, Naya Hanadu, that was like in like the 90s or something like that. One of the guys in that song had locks. And in first gen K-pop, oh, the girls loved to braid. I remember in Diva had braids, I remember in Baby Box had braids, I remember in SES had braids. And these were the biggest girl groups in Korea at the time, y'all. Shinhwa literally had a song from first gen where they were literally saying the N-word, y'all. Now let's think critically, y'all. Are these some like traditional Korean elements, some Choson elements? No, these are not. These are from America. These are from the West. These are from black American people, y'all. There's this first gen K-pop group named Diva who had a song called Joy. And watch the music video, you can see this. It's like around like the 8-second mark. They literally say punk ASSNIGGAS. Let's think critically, y'all. Where did that come from? One of my favorite first gen K-pop groups is literally Baby Box, and listen to their music, very R&B-esque. There's this one album where they're like wearing white shirts and like black pants. That is straight R&B that's made in Korea, y'all. I'm just like, what are y'all talking about? K-pop didn't just magically sound Western. It's always had Western influence, y'all. What I really hate is that Korea has a lot of culture. They have their own traditional music. They have all these different things they can pull from for K-pop that they just choose to ignore. I heard a Gina song and it had like traditional Korean like instruments in it, and I was like, wait, you can do traditional K-pop and it still be poppy and fun and good and a hit? And I'm like, what's going on here? Why are we not doing this? And also I'm like, where do you think the rap position came from? Where do you think rap parts and songs came from? Like, please use your brain.
The K in K-pop stands for Made in Korea. It doesn't stand for Korean music, it stands for Made in Korea music. When I say made in Korea, I mean that everything is manufactured there, but I wouldn't necessarily call it Korean. You know, they get different parts from, even they get parts from Korea, you know, a lot of the idols are still from there, even though there's a lot of foreign idols in the industry now, but they get a lot of other parts from different parts of the world and they pull it together, they make it in Korea, but there's nothing Korean about it. Everyone by now should know, or at least most people by now know, that Entertainment was literally based on the Motown artist system. It was based on the Motown system, you know, the whole, even down, there was a girl who recently shared some CDs. I think it was like a cassette that her parents had from the Motown era. It was a cassette of the Supremes and they had photo cards in that cassette. So even down to the photo cards, they have literally stolen that idea from Motown. It's not a secret in the industry that the whole K-pop system and K-pop music as a whole is inspired by Black American music. And I would say Black music as a whole, because right now they're in their Amapiano bag, right? The K-pop system relies on this kind of like cultural hybrid. There are academic papers on this. It relies on a sort of like cultural hybridity, where they take different parts of different cultures, especially Black American culture, and they sort of create what we now know as K-pop. And so when people, this is why I find it so funny when a lot of fans say that we need to keep the idols Korean, we need to keep them Asian, there shouldn't be any sort of like foreign idols in the industry. I find that funny because one of my 5th gen predictions is that in the next 5 to 10 years, most people in the Korean industry, like most idols, are not going to be Korean, because there's nothing Korean about K-pop. All the idols are going to require is to fit the beauty standards, to have some sort of like talent that they're able to market, be able to speak Korean, and that's literally it. And I'm not being rude or anything like that, and I'm not trying to like put the K-pop industry down. I am a K-pop fan. I've been a fan since 2008. You know, SHINee debut, yeah, that is when I discovered SHINee, and I've been dedicated to this genre ever since. But as a Black K-pop fan, it is very common for us to be critical, because if you have grown up Black and if you have grown up in Black culture, you know, as you're getting into K-pop, you start to notice very quickly that a lot of what you're seeing, you see in your own culture. And also, I would actually argue that it's actually good to be critical of the K-pop industry as a Black K-pop fan, rather than be ignorant, because we can clearly see that this genre is so much inspired by us. So yeah, I have a lot of critiques about the K-pop industry. As much as I love as much as I love K-pop, as much as I love the groups that I stan, at the end of the day, I am not going to be ignorant, or I'm not going to brush it under the rug. There are a lot of issues, and it is very clear that it is an industry that constantly steals from other cultures, usually doesn't give the credit, and that is literally what it was built on. It was built on cultural hybridity. It was built, especially, like I said before, on Black American culture. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. But once I do eventually come back, and specifically come back to YouTube, I will do a proper video on this. But yeah, I'm glad we're having a discussion. I think it's very important, and yeah.
The K-pop music industry needs to show African Americans more love. Cause after seeing Big Hit's new group Cordis and their new song Go, it sounded eerily familiar to some Black artists I know, like Travis Scott, Don Toliver. And now that I think of it, I feel like the whole K-pop music industry is influenced by Black culture and music. Hear me out, talented boys in a group who can sing and dance. Who does that remind you of? The Jackson 5. And look, it's not only Cordis that's taking inspiration from Black music, but most of these groups, anytime they have some sort of hip-hop rap section or like an R&B-ish feel, I feel like it's in direct correlation to African American music. I personally grew up with a lot of African Americans, especially within the music industry. And one of the main reasons I make R&B music today is because I was influenced by my black vocal coach, black musicians, and black producers I worked with. I kid you not, one of the main reasons I learned to dance and sing is by watching Chris Brown and Michael Jackson. Anytime I saw those two guys on the stage and watched their performances, it would inspire me to become a better artist. But anyways, yeah, I think that the K-pop industry should show a little bit more appreciation towards African Americans. But in general, most music does take inspiration from other kinds of music, and I think we should all just enjoy it and have a great time together.
Let me get this straight. Y'all have a problem with Taehyung of TXT actually giving black people credit for the fact that they were a huge influence with his company, behind the group, and everything like that. But yet, y'all don't have a problem with Baby Monster literally stealing a beat from a black girl group. Okay. First off, I want to give props to Taehyung for actually speaking up on this topic, and the fact that he's getting heat over this is crazy because all he did was speak the truth. I've told you, many other black K-pop fans have told you, but K-pop, it really boosted all these big labels. Those labels started taking off in the 1990s after they were very much immersed and inspired by the black Western culture. And that's facts. You can go look it up. So if your favorite K-pop idol can come out and say, yeah, this was highly inspired and influenced by black Western culture, or your favorite K-pop label can come out there and say that, why do K-pop fans have such a problem embracing the fact that black Western culture, black Western artists have a huge influence on K-pop? Not to mention nowadays, you can also find a lot of music in K-pop groups that are inspired by African culture or Latinx culture. So I just don't understand what the problem is. Just give credit where credit's due. And speaking about giving credit where credit is due, y'all are out here making a fuss over Taehyung over here talking about black culture. Meanwhile, you have Baby Monster, who quite literally just stole the beat from an older black girl group, and they gave no credits. They didn't pay nothing. This is literally from their TikTok posts. Go check it out under JJ Fad. That is the group. And that song is literally the beat that Baby Monster used. Look at this comment here. The difference is Fergie asked permission and paid us. So y'all out here taking a black woman's beats and didn't even bother to pay them? Right. So at the end of the day, if you are a K-pop fan or you work within the K-pop industry, you need to learn to embrace the fact that black Western culture has a huge impact on K-pop and has for a very, very long time. So give credit where credit is due, pay black artists their money, get permission to use their dance, their sounds, whatever, and just accept that. So then maybe we can start healing the racism that's within this industry, because black K-pop fans, black industry people, we're tired of this. Like, we're tired of it. Wrap it up.
So now it's keep K-pop Korean? Run our way. Our way, our way. Like, are y'all for real? I know everybody done heard that song by now, and that song is by a Korean artist that's going viral right now because of the forced Nigerian African accent in that song and the Afrobeat behind it. The artist goes by Kowe and collabed with African artists that are currently living in South Korea for his most recent album. Now, while there is some debate on whether this is appropriation or appreciation, there seems to be a larger concern with the new hashtag Keep K-pop Korean, a movement that's gained popularity over the past few months. Now, the hashtag Keep K-pop Korean was supposedly started by K-pop stans because some of the most popular K-pop idols right now are not Korean. And K-pop stans apparently have a history of opposing the debut of black and other non-Korean people, especially in their girl groups. But is it not hypocritical to stand behind the Keep K-pop Korean hashtag when black culture created K-pop? And while K-pop continues to be heavily influenced by black culture, K-pop sounds, hair, fashion, choreography, and music videos have been heavily influenced by black culture and black people. K-pop as we know it today is commonly believed to have been kickstarted by early 90s K-pop group Seo Taiji and the Boys. The group is visibly heavily influenced by black culture, from the appropriation of lock to the baggy jeans and baggy clothes, sagging pants and gold chains. And the more K-pop rose in popularity, the more influences from black culture could be seen. The influence that black culture has had on K-pop is clearly evident and obviously strong, and blackness continues to influence K-pop today just like it did in the 90s. So does Keep K-pop Korean really mean that they want all non-Korean influences removed from the genre altogether. But if that's the case, what would K-pop be without the appropriation of Black and Black culture? Or does it simply shine a light on the anti-Blackness within the genre and the community? They are fine appropriating Black culture as long as it's through the face, voice, and body of a non-Black Korean. Run away, away, away.
In as much as I don't really know much about K-pop, right? I don't really know much about the whole thing with the music and all that, but I cannot think I understand exactly what these people are saying. The meaning of K, it does not necessarily mean that it came from Korean and all that. And this is quite similar to what we face in Africa. For example, there's a country called Ghana, and of course, there's a country called Nigeria. And if you know these two countries very well, they banter each other all the time. So there's this whole thing with the Afrobeats being from Nigeria, being from Ghana. Ghanaians are claiming that they are the originators of this Afrobeat, and Nigerians are now owning it. Like, then they took it back to the 80s when the first time it was aired, and it came from Ghana. Nigerians are just copying. It is actually a very big one. Like, these two countries are not having it. They felt like, why are these people copying? They don't have any problem with you copying. They have a problem with you not giving credit, right? And this Korean American lady took her time to explain everything about K-pop. Remember, she is a Korean, and at the same time, she's also an American. And she said the quiet part out loud, and people are not having it. They are dragging her. And this reminds me so much about what we face in Africa. Like now, we are still debating on where high life came from. Nigerians are claiming that they are the originators of high life and Afrobeat. Ghanaians are claiming that as well. In as much as they felt like some other country felt like, okay, maybe fine and good. Maybe it's been originated from Ghana, but Ghanaians, they are not owning it. So maybe the K-pop was originated from Black culture, like she said, but maybe Koreans are making use of it properly. Because for you to be able to have this sort of debates, it shows that the people that stole that particular music from you probably are doing it better than you. Had it been the Black culture are the ones utilizing the music properly, there's no way Korean will be able to even start dragging it at all. But we still stand where we stand, and which simply means give credit to the originators. If it's been confirmed that Koreans actually stole K-pop music from Black culture, which is still stated clearly by Expensive Taste and every other videos I reacted, I believe by now we must have understood where they are coming from. I kind of think that before you use things, that's why even on my videos, I still give credit to the originators of the videos I'm reacting on, because I don't own it. So it is respectful and is expected to give credit to who credit deserves, or should I say desires the credit or deserves the credit. So had it been the Koreans, we are giving Americans their flag, giving them the accolades on the K-pop, how they stole it and giving them the credit, I don't think there will be this back and forth with where does K-pop originate from. Because I know vividly, in Africa, we are still bantering and still dragging Afrobeat and high life from Ghana, from Nigeria, from South Africa. They even have the one that is called Amapiano. Nigerians are claiming that Amapiano is from Nigeria. South Africans are claiming that Amapiano is from South Africa. I believe you guys understand what I'm saying. Like I said before, I don't really know much about K-pop music, but these are people's reactions, and I learned quite a lot. So most times on my videos, anytime I create content, I learn quite a lot from my content. So thank you guys so much for your comments, your educative comments, your watch, your likes. All those things does not go unnoticed. If this is your first time coming across my face again, my name is Julie. You are welcome to Julie Harrison React. Don't make it your last by subscribing. And remember, we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. This content is really for educational purposes and, of course, creating awareness on the recent trends happening on social medias. I'm going to see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.